Mother's Day in quarantine, indeed. Um, Normally, we probably would have made plan to go out for dinner tonight, but not this year. Even though a lot of restaurant reopened this weekend in Sarasota. I'm not sure about where you live, but for us here, um, starting a few Friday, I saw quite a few restaurants reopen for the first time since March. There was a whole bunch of restaurant with big signs, balloons, all kind of fanfare, and um, I did see a few um, clients tables that because some of the restaurant had open sitting outside, and I did see a few tables with customers outside eating, ordering. So things are back somewhat, and I'm sure this weekend will be a decent weekend. Mother's Day is a big dining out brunch as well as dinner, right, for a lot of people, which bring me to a funny story to tell. My freshman year in college, okay, my freshman year in college, one of my good friend in college, his aunt just bought a restaurant a few months earlier. They bought a restaurant and they want to reopen it for Mother's Day. Um, and back then, Mother's Day was the first weekend right after school ended my freshman year in college. So, um, he asked me, do you need a job? Do you want a job? I mean, we were pretty good friend my freshman year in college, and I'm like, well, I don't have a job right now, but I can use one this summer, and I don't really have any skills, you know. And his aunt bought the restaurant. Their son and daughter work in the restaurant as well. And my friend, the nephew, um, got a job as a waiter. And he told me the only opening that they have is dishwashing, you know. But the restaurant is in like a remote area of upstate New York. The nearest town compared to that location is, I think, 45 minutes drive, the nearest. Otherwise, it's just a lake, a golf course, a couple hotels, and a couple restaurants. It's not quite like Dirty Dancing kind of place, but it's similar to the kind of place that you see in Dirty Dancing. It's remote. It's a summer vacation. It's a cool spot for a lot of people. Hello, Wobblers. And he said that part of the pay is room and board at the restaurant. Okay, so I didn't know much. Here I was freshman year. I'm as always up to that point I was broke and poor and always need money. So I said, sure, get me a job that I can live and work right in the same spot without needing a car because I don't have money for a car either. So anything that allow me to work without needing a car is a big plus for me at the time. Um, I thought you retire. I have no idea what you're talking about. If you follow my channel, you know what's going on. Uh, um, so I show up. Basically, I left college and goes directly with him um, to his house, and then from his house it's about 40-minute drive to the location. He also stay there. So basically, and I told this story once before. Um, the restaurant is a big resort. It's like an inn. On the basement slash first floor is like a bar, pool table, darts. It's a full bar. It serves sandwiches, burger, French fries. It's right on a big lake. It's near a big lake, and surrounding the lake is a golf course. So basically, you have 9 holes of golf for people to play golf, and then they can stop for lunch at the end at the first level, have a few beer, um, and then eat a sandwich or burger or whatever, and then play another 9 hole. On the next level is the full 300 seats dining hall. Um, and then on the next level up is, I think, 20 room, 15 or 20 room where you can stay the night or the weekend. So the people would travel from far away, stay the weekend, play golf, eat all that stuff. And then on the top floor is the big attics, and uh, and this bunks bed for all the helps. So it's all 18 to 20-year old kids like me. So the wait staff, the busboy, the cook, all young, 18 to 20 something. So I was a dishwasher. So the grand opening was Mother's Day. I have never washed dishes in a restaurant before, and that was baptized by fire because brunch was brutal. Brunch was so busy. I think they served like 250 meals for brunch, and I was crushed with dishes from 10:30 all the way through midnight because I couldn't I couldn't catch up from brunch to dinner. It was insane. Yeah, but that was my baptize into dishwashing my freshman year in college, Mother's Day. I never forget that day. That Mother's Day is a special one for me. Cosmic Depot, hello. Market is still strong on Silver Age, still bringing in good premium. Wobbler say on Silver Age key, would you take high grade with lower page quality? That's a tough trade-off for a lot of people. I think for some people, this is of course my personal preference. My personal preference is I don't mind not having white page. Some people are white page collector. They would trade a mid grade, say a 6.0 white page, instead of owning, say, an 8.0 cream page. I'm just throwing out example. And For me, it's the thing is the page quality that CGC or CBCS put on the label is more so, well, it's all about the interior and not the cover. Okay, that's one of the things that I have always disliked about all grading company is they rightfully so focus on the interior page, but sometimes the cover is not as white as it should be, even on white page slabs. For those that collect silver edge slabs, you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of books where the cover is not all that great as far as the brightness of the color or the whiteness of the white, yet it's still white page because the interior is white. I do have a little sticky problem with that, but it's a problem that I don't think they can solve because silver age books tend to have yellow tan cover, so it's hard to fix that one, but that's just a personal preference. So to answer your question, I don't mind off-white or even cream interior of a high-grade silver edge books if the outside cover is nice and bright and not yellow or tan. It's not easy to find, but it's possible. It's possible to have a whiter, brighter color covers on a book that is off-white or cream page. So my trade-off is I don't mind owning higher grade cream to off-white interior if the cover is bright and white. I would take that over a white interior and a tan cover. Does that make sense? Good morning, everyone. TH, happy Mother's Day. Yes, happy Mother's Day. So for us, instead of going out tonight, I will cook. My wife have a couple favorite meals that she likes. So for sure, I will cook her favorite meal tonight. It's the same meal that she requests for her birthday. Her 50th birthday is coming shortly. Same month. Okay, so big one. To answer pure Gosu question about me leaving, just because I don't buy a lot of stuff, I still have a lot of stuff. So the topic of me leaving the hobby, guess what? Does not mean that I'm not gonna be on YouTube. So if you don't like it, you don't have to watch. Hello, Myth Lab Music. Not to say that you are a hater, okay? So pure gospel, don't get all bundled up in a tight knot. I'm just saying that, you know, a lot of people have a lot of misunderstanding on what I am doing. I can enjoy the hobby without buying. That's what I'm saying. Good as Gold said the number of books on Comic Link increased, but the quality isn't there. I think going forward, uh, in addition to my market report at the end of the month, at the beginning of the auction, like this auction will kick off on the 14th in a few days. I will do a video that I will comment on the 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 selections. I will give a color commentaries on the selections, and we will see. Plus, it will give me a record on how many listing there are, so that say if I still do a market report a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 3 years from now, who knows how long I will keep doing it, then we have some kind of reference to compare. The biggest problem with Comic Link is they don't keep record around for us to look at compared to Heritage. If you go to Heritage website, you can go back to any auction they had and they keep everything. Okay, so you can go back to Heritage auction 3 years ago and see all the listings of that auction, all the results, everything. Plus, it's on GPA. Okay, so you can see everything. But when it comes down to Comic Link, they don't do that. So that's one reason why I do the market report focusing on Comic Link auctions, because as we all know, Comic Link doesn't keep records with GPA. Okay, the results of Comic Link does not go to GPA. So it's a good thing to do a market report using Comic Link just so that I can get a snapshot of some of the key books because they are not on GPA. For those that are new to the hobby and not aware, that's what is going on with Comic Link. Okay, when it comes down to GPA compared to other website that collect historical data, they don't keep track of. I'm not sure if Go Collect also collect data from Comic Link. I don't think they do that as well. But I think Comic Link has a problem with sharing result with all the data aggregator. Okay. Let's see. Hello, Robert Austin. Adrian asked, will you also say some hardcover omnibus or you will only focus on 500 issues? Good questions. As I'm going through, when I started the series 500 Keepers, I did not have any pre-notion of what I will put in there, because I have a lot of great treasuries as well as magazines. Okay. So at first, I'm just like, oh, I'm going to narrow down what I keep to 500. And I included in that 500 treasuries and magazines because I have a lot of awesome magazines that I love. They might not worth a lot of money or have anything kind of investing or anything like that, but um, they're definitely keepers. But as I go through the first 100 or so, if you follow the series, you see that I'm already like 120 or so books into the 500s, and I'm nowhere near. I'm barely in the C's. Okay, I haven't get to the D or the F or the X. It's gonna be a huge problem to narrow to just 500 and exclude 50, 60 treasuries and 50 or 60 magazines. So I don't know yet. Okay, I'm gonna keep those in mind, run the series through, and see what will happen once I get to the X. Once I get through the X, the W, we'll see what's left. Okay, we'll see what's left. But my hunch is that the 500 keepers is going to be strictly just comic books because it's going to be extremely tough to include magazine and treasury because that can easily eat up 100 spot right there. Well, Robert said include magazine and treasury and make it 1,000. The thing is, I don't have 500 magazines or treasury, so it might be an extra 100 spot for those. Okay, but as far as omnibus, I don't have that many. Okay, I don't have that many, and many of my omnibus are the cheap stuff, the soft covers, stuff that is just nothing fancy. I mean, they be around. It's not worth reselling. I keep it around for kids to read. It's not a big deal. Um, Cosmic Depot said heritage is junk when come to selling golden age keys. Stick with Josh at Comic Link. I don't know about that. You know, uh, when it comes down to auction house, I don't really have a preference. I use a lot of Comic Link for sure. Okay, for sure. But I also bought a lot from Heritage as well. I have I don't consign a lot of stuff to Heritage. Um, there's a couple reasons. Okay, first of all, they don't have. I'm not a big fan of their weekly Sunday auctions. Those are not. I don't think those fare very well in results. So I don't like to do that. And then when it comes down to big comic auctions, they only have it every 3 months. So it's a timing issues. One of the biggest problem I have with selling is I don't want to push my hand into a fixed time frame where I'm gonna sell with Camp Heritage only in March, only in June, only in September, kind of. No, that's why Comic Link got a lot of my books because they have auctions every month. It's easier, but even that is not good enough for me in this bad time. Okay, I talked about this already in many chats. Like in bad time, having auction is risky. On top of that, having auction with specific time can be very risky. Um, Last week or last month, it was great timing because the auctions ended right around when the stock market was doing really well. Market was booming in April. So yeah, that was just a perfect timing for that auctions. Even so, not all the results are fantastic. So I don't want to lock myself into like the third week of June for the June auction. Not that I know where the market's going to be as far as the stock market is going to be in June, the third week or the fourth week in June. What happened if the market is down 10% or 20%, right? Certainly some books is going to take a beating because the stock market is down big. So it's there is a correlation of how the big books perform and how the economy and the stock market is doing. Let me see. Hello, Xpear 0742. Do you think 35 cents variant are good investment? As you see, other people have already answered your question. Sure. Um, I would not go out there and buy slabs of this variant and think it's a good investment. You know my rule. Okay, if you go out there hunt and you can buy a 35 cents Bronze Age variant for cheap, but I would advise people to go out there and spend crazy money on 35 cent variants or 30 cents variant because they are variant. Um, it's a tough market. It's a tough market because not everybody give a damn. Okay, you got to understand. Not every collector in this hobby give a damn about 35 cents variant. A lot of people like Hulk 181. A lot of people like Fantastic Four #1. There's a lot of books that people like. You want, if you want to invest in something that more people want than a niche. Not to say that a niche cannot be good investment. For example, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle #1. That is one niche book. Okay, not every collector out there give a damn about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle #1. But it is a solid book that has been going up and up and up for decades because it's a niche, but there is a strong niche. And that niche is not going to let that book go down anytime soon. I have yet to see that book go down for any substantial value in a long, long time because I've been hunting for a copy, trying to find a copy for cheap for a long time. The low number and the strong niche make that book a very good investment choice for many decades. Boomba Man 31 asked about bank vault. I have a couple of safe deposit box in the vault at the banks. Um, I'm trying to remember because it's a couple sizes. Okay, so I think the most expensive size that I paid for that's like 100. I think the cheap one is like 70. I don't remember. It's like once a year. It's an automatic uh, fee, and it's automatically deducted from my checking account. But I think I pay anywhere from 60 to 125 for the two sizes. I have a couple of small sizes, like the the one where you can put one, two, maybe you can put six slabs in them. I have one of two of those, and I have one of the big one, like big one. It's like like a short box kind of thing where you can put you know 30 slabs in that. But I think the one that I had is like 125. It could be more. Okay, I could be completely way off, but I just know the cheapest one that I had was like 65. Maybe they have raised it to 75, and the bigger one maybe is 200 plus. I don't know. It's been a long time. I had those boxes for many years. They have raised prices on those boxes over the many years, so it's just out of mind, out of sight because they automatically deduct every year out of my checking account. And before someone want to go into the education mode, the stuff in the safe deposit box is not insured by the bank. Okay, so just because you keep it there, it is safer than keep it in your own home. You still need to insure those books because if something happened to them in the safe deposit box, the bank is not gonna do anything for you. Okay, so just because you put it there, uh, it is safer than keeping it in your on your wall at home. You still need to insure them, and the cost of insuring is not outrageous. Okay, I mean you can insure, you know, $300,000 worth of comic books for probably $600 a year, something like that. Once again, I have insurance policy with collectible insurance, and it's renewed every year. Do you divide the cost of your box every year among the books you have in there? Um, I don't. To be honest, I don't. It's rare. It's rare that I would go to the bank. I go to the vault maybe 3 times a year. Um, Sometime more. If I sold something that I need to take out of the vault, then yeah. Um, but I just, it's I when I go to the bank, I don't, take a look at all three boxes. I kind of just like, okay, I don't remember the few occasions where I, take all three boxes out at the same time is that I don't remember where I put the book. Like I should do that. I should, take inventories. Like this box have A, B, C, D, E. I should do that. But I have done a better job. Now I know, like, I'm keeping the Marvel Silver Age in one box. I keep the Bronze in one box, and I keep all the Golden Age and stuff in another box. So at least I have divided the books into separate boxes. So, if I was to, look at Golden Age books, I'm not going to go to box A or B. I know exactly it's in box C. So I do that in my mind to help me categorize what is in each box. Um, Cosmic, let's see. Glycine Airman asked Nick, will you do an analysis of the new Metro Comic Connect auction? Um, I can, not that I plan to. If I have, when does it start? Do you know? I'm guessing next week. Um, I have not looked at Metro or Comic Connect website for many, many months. I know they change it. I know they update it. I'm not a big fan of the look. I have never understand the people that decided to update something. Um, just like the CGC forum. Anyone that had been in a CGC forum back, before 2012, I think 2013, 12 or 13, that's when they changed. I like the CGC format and the way things look and the way things work in the old way. When they update things, it's it look prettier, but it's more cumbersome to navigate with the CGC forum. And the same thing I can say with Metro. Their old way was kind of clumsy as far as the looks, but it's function well. Okay, I can say that I never have a complaint. I never feel the need to complain about the functionality of the website. So the new look, even though it looked good, seemed like it's much more cumbersome to find things or search for things or look for things or how things fit on the screen. It just didn't look right for me. But like I said, I'm not very active on bidding and searching for things on Metro. They're not on my favorite list of places to buy, so I kind of not waste my time there. That's my reluctant to do anything as far as any kind of preview of their website. It's just like I have so little love or any love or respect for Metro. Yeah, there I say that out loud. Yeah, it's a big fu to Metro if you want to read between through all the lines. Yeah, I it's hard for me to talk about Metro without wanting to puke because that's how I feel about the guys at Metro. Um, but just to be fair, it's a personal thing with me. Okay, so I'm not telling people like, oh, don't do business with Metro. I just want to make it very clear. Metro has a lot of loyal, happy collectors as their clientele. Hey, if you are happy with them, trust their grading, love their selection, good for you. Just don't ask me to buy anything from them. Huh. Cosmic Depot asks, is there a market on PDF files on raw covers on Grail books? Um, I'm not sure if there is a market as far as like a way to make money. There's if you really want to see a covers of a book, Google can get you just about anything, and it might not be the nicest, highest grade looking scan, but I don't think there is one. I don't think there is one. If there is one, it's not big enough for anybody to go and reproduce those covers to sell for replicate kind of thing. There's always, I mean, it's always some people that would love to have, even a print reprint of the covers. Some people that have coverless books um, would, but I don't think it's a huge market. I don't think it's a big enough market for anyone to put money into, I wouldn't go out there and invest money into a nice color laser printer, even though they're not that expensive anymore. I remember when color laser printer would have cost like $3,000, $4,000. Now for a couple $100, you can get a nice color printers that can reprint paper money that look really good. um, Wobbles asks, is Metro Metropolis Comics correct? It's Metro Metropolis Comic, and they also their website that they do the auction is Comic Connect. Um, Metro Metro is one of the biggest dealer in the world. In the world, yes, I said that, in the world. So trust me, not having ETA Nick as a customer is, they don't care. Okay, they don't care. They they couldn't care less if I don't like them or don't buy from them ever again. They're huge. They're huge. They are the king of Action One. When you're talking about Action One, they have the monopoly on Action One over the past decade plus that I can tell. Sure, occasionally you will see a copy of Action One on Heritage Auction, but I can see more. I mean, if you go to any big conventions, you can see that Metro would have a couple copies of Action One on display in the cabinet, on their wall or whatever. Yeah, they like to brag about how many copy of Action One they have. Um, when it come down to the economy, okay, back to the economy and Mother's Day. Hopefully, if you go out for Mother's Day dinner, hopefully you go to a place that practice safe distancing so that you can enjoy dinner or brunch and not catch the virus. Um, as far as the economy, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for me to understand, what's going on with the market as far as, people spending money buying comic books. It's people, a lot of people. This is a thing. As as bad as the economy situation is, right? 20 plus 25% of the people is unemployed. Yes, the unemployment number is massive, is ugly, is nasty looking, is bad. That means that, let's assume the number is correct, okay? 25% is unemployed. That means that 75% of the people that had a job back in February still have a job, okay? Because they work at home, because they can work, they don't have to go anywhere. So their job was safe and the company still hire them and they can still work at home and get a full pay. Perhaps those are the people. Well, if those people are buying books, then it's no big deal. I'm just fearful that some people that are out of work is buying books, charging up their credit cards because they have nothing better to do. Okay, that is where it get bad. If you are not working and you're bored and you rather go on eBay to buy comic books and charge up your credit card because you don't give a damn, I'm sure that statement is not wrong for some people, right? That's how, hey, there are people out there that just do just that, So I don't understand, you know, it's nothing that you or I can do. Okay, it's it's up to the credit card company to put a lockdown. Eventually, say, you're not paying your bills. We're not gonna keep giving you a chance to screw us later, right? So the credit card company is to blame for a lot of the problem too because they don't, you know, they let people do things until it's too late. But that's the American way. Run up the plastic, right? Um, TH Comics say, listening to what you say about Metro now, I don't like them. Don't take what I bought a few stuff from Metro. Okay, I bought a few stuff from Metro. Um, I don't expect. Here's my reasoning with Metro. Okay, I'm gonna give you the truth and honest answer why I don't like Metro, and you can take it for what it is. A, not good graders. Number one reason. Okay, I have seen many people that disagree with that statement because they think Metro great, awesome, and then I know quite a few people that agree with me and think that they overgrade. So number one, overgrade. Number two, if you are familiar with Metro or website or current website, on many raw books, do you see a back cover? Okay. On many occasions in the past, I have looked at books that are 300, 500, 800, over a thousands. I have looked at books that had just the front cover, and I have requested multiple times to see the back cover so that I can make an informed decision on what the grade is to offer or to buy the books. On every occasion that I requested back covers, they ignore my request, sometimes completely. Sometimes they don't even reply. Sometimes they reply with the, it's a hot book. It will sell quickly. We don't have time to get the back cover for you. Yeah. You see how I say F you after a few of those occasions? If you're too big and you think that you can get away with overgrading and not giving me back the cover, giving me the back cover, then F you. You're not taking my money. F you. So yeah, if you ask me why I think they are dog shit, that's why. They're too good, too arrogant. And I'm not afraid to say that because I don't need them. Uh-uh. So yeah, anyone that dispute what I said about overgrading and not giving back cover scan, raise your hand. If you deal with Metro, you know what I'm talking about. Who need that? Who need that? I don't need that. You know how I buy things. I need to see the back cover. I can't buy a book for $500 without seeing the back cover. That's insane. Especially when you're talking about people that can't grade very well or overgrade. But yeah, it's 11:14. But just to be transparent of why I dislike Metro, there you go. That's everything on the up and up. Okay, I don't have any other beef to say or tell people, oh, Metro is this and that. That's everything. There is no more dirt to give with Metro. Hello, Chris, Wicked Pizza Comics. Um, but they do have a very good selections of Golden Age books because, like I said, Metro have been around for a long time. They do run big auctions with big books. I'm not a fan of the way they run the auction with the extra time tag on, but that's their way. I'm sure it works for a lot of people that can sign the books because then there is no sniping. There's no last seconds bid that you know end the auctions. If you bid at the last few seconds, it add on more times. It's the same thing with my comic shop. Okay, so it's the same um, methods that my comic shop also use. So it's not, I don't have a problem with that. Okay. It's just that that's their methods. And a lot of people like that methods. A lot of people that consign books with Metro like that methods because they feel that they can get a better price. Um, okay. Absolute Venom asks, would you trust CGC to press your books? Um, First and foremost, the only time that I use anyone to press my books, only once did I hire someone to press my books for me. It was before the company that CGC bought. Okay. When CGC bought that company that was run and owned by Matt Nelson, the only time that I hire anyone to press my books was with that company. So the answer is, would I have done it if I did not press my books myself? Yes. But since then, since 2008, 2009, I have teach myself on how to press and I have moved on and never again look back at anyone else to press my book. But if you ask me, would I trust CGC to press my book? The answer is yes. Hello, Joan Valenzuela. Okay, I will end the chat in 13 minutes by 11:30. Okay, because it's time to make brunch, Mother's Day brunch. It's gonna be all kind of cooking going on at the ETA Nick's household. Between now and dinner, be a whole lot of cooking. Chris, Wicked Pizza said, I only trust Dennis Schaefer. I don't know who Dennis Schaefer is. I'm assuming that he is a dealer, an old time dealer, a name that I'm not familiar with. Yes, I am right here in Sarasota, right with at the home of CGC. For those that are not familiar with me, I am in Sarasota, Florida, home of CGC. What's on the menu, Robert? Well, brunch. You're gonna have French toast, eggs, bacon, toast. All kind of things. A typical brunch. For dinner, I'm cooking my wife' favorite dish. I don't know how to translate the dish. It's a Vietnamese dish, but it's her favorite food. She requested every anniversary, every Mother's Day, every birthday. So I have done a video many years ago. I done a cooking video that I actually show you how I cook that dish. It's on the channel. The video is on the channel somewhere. I put in a transfer to Sarasota for a post office transfer. Good luck, John. You'll be busy here. A lot of people ordering a lot of stuff from Amazon, that's for sure. Uh, let's see what is for 150 bucks on eBay. A pressing machine. You know, I I'm a big fan of people learning how to press on their own. I'm a big fan of telling people that the best way to flip books, the most profitable way to flip books is to press your own books. Okay. Um, because if you buy a book and then you have to spend 10, 15 bucks or whatever it is a cost, to send the books to somebody else to press and clean, it eats into your profit margin. It also eat into the time that you need to put in to flip a book. Okay, so you know I am an easygoing flipper. I buy things that are not in a rush to flip because I buy a lot of silver age or bronze age keys that are that are in high demand. So I don't need to like buy something, submit it right away because it's gonna get cold in a week or 2 weeks. I'm not in that game. If you're in that game, it is even more essential to learn how to press on your own because you do not have time. If you send your books to somebody else and then they had to submit to CGC for you, or even if you sent something directly to CGC to press and grade, it take much longer. You can press a book on your own if you know what you're doing in literally 5 minutes. Okay. To me, it's a no-brainer. That's why I did the whole series on my channel on how to press and how to clean books. It's is it the best tutorial out there? I can't say, but I'm pretty sure quite a few people have watched those videos and benefit from them. That's all I can say. Okay, I can't say that it's the best tutorial out there. I can't say that it's the best cleaning out there as far as tutorial. But I think that if you watch my pressing series and cleaning series, you will have a good understanding of what it take to clean and press on your own, and then you can proceed to test and play and practice. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take This is not something that it takes a year to get better. It's not something that takes 6 months to get better. I think a person, if you press 1 or 2 books a day, in a week you will see a significant improvement. You will see a significant You will develop your own techniques. Okay, what I show and what I talk about often in all of my pressing tutorial is you need to play around with different techniques to see what works and what doesn't work for you. Okay, so it's about playing around with the different temperatures. It's about playing around with how to adjust to silver age books, how to adjust to bronze books, how to adjust to modern books. There's a whole bunch of little things that you need to learn. And then if you figure it out, then it's easy peasy after. Okay. I said this many times in my pressing tutorial. My way is just one way. It's not the only way. Okay. So you can certainly cherry pick the things that I do that you like, and then develop your own methods on things that you think I'm stupid at. Hello, Code Film Video. Thank you. Um, I bought mine. Um, I bought mine on Craigslist locally. Okay, this is way back in 2008. I know it's tougher and tougher to find a good pressing machine out there, an used one, because a lot of people are buying them up to press on their own. But if you pay attention to eBay, I have seen a few used machine, and this machine lasts a long time. The machine that I bought gotta be something that's 30 years old, at least 25 years old. Okay, so it's old. It works fine. I don't need a fancy machine. It works fine. The handle is broken. That's why I bought it for cheap. I think I paid 150, something like that for mine. It's cheap, but it's the handle's broken. But I can still lift the lid to put the books under. So I rig it so it still works. But It is more to buy the machine like that brand new will cost like almost $3,000. Yeah, that's not a cheap machine, but you can buy the smaller model, the cheaper model that press t-shirts that a lot of presser use for like $150 or whatever it is. It's on eBay everywhere, and I think those machine works just fine. I don't use that machine, so I can't give testimonial on how well they worked. Okay, I can't say anything good or bad about them because I never use them. I use my big old heavy presser that have been around for 25, 30 years. It works. That's all I know. Okay, so I don't know how well those cheaper machine works, but from the looks of things and from what I see on YouTube and many people pressing, obviously it works. It works well enough that a lot of people are using them and get good results. Yeah, the machine that I use are still being produced today because it's used for many things. It's used for laminating arts and prints, and the shop that I bought that from is a frame shop, the kind of shop that frame pictures and laminate things. And um, back in 2008, when it went out of business, that was for sales, junk stuff. I'm sure they said that guy's gonna pay $150 for that machine. Take it. It's junk, but hey, it works. Anyhow, I'm finishing up here quickly. So thank you, everybody. Hopefully, you have a good Mother's Day. Um, the market, too early to say one way or another. Um, who knows what's going on with the pandemic? Okay, I just know things are opening up. I just know right here in Sarasota, restaurants are opening this weekend. Many restaurants are opening this weekend. So we'll see how things go. Hopefully, things will go okay. Hopefully, the number of people getting sick, get infected everywhere won't go crazy high. Um, we don't need that. Okay, if more people get sick, all that will do is force many places to close up again. We don't need that. Okay, the economy is so bad. If people can practice common sense, wear mask. If you're sick, don't go out and spread the germs. That kind of common sense, then I think in time we'll be okay. Like I said, it's hard. It's hard to gauge what's going on with the economy. The federal government is throwing everything at the economy. That's why the stock market is up. I talked about this in the last few chats. They are putting in trillions. The government is putting in trillions in the stock market. So, you know, it it helped prop up the stock market, prop up psychology. Okay, trust me, psychology is a big part of how we behave as consumers. So they have the printing machine. Okay, they are printing money. They are propping up the stock market, the financial market. They buying up stuff. As long as they keep doing that, don't fight the Fed. Don't try to go against the stock market. I talked about this already in the last few chats. As negative as I was and still am with the economy, with the virus, have you heard me talk about shorting the stock market, blowing out the portfolio because everything is gonna go to hell? Have you heard me talk about that on the channel? The answer is no. Okay. It's I don't know where the stock market is going. Even I am surprised at how strong the stock market is, but at the same time, one foot in, one foot out. Okay, that's my best advice to a lot of people. Don't go predicting. Don't plant your flag and say I am bearish, I am bullish, and nobody knows. At best, try not to be too positive or too negative. Um, bye, guys. Anyhow, if I miss your comments, you know me. Just a quick PSA before I go. There's always a lot of questions in the live chats, and I can't follow every single one of them. If you have anything specific that you want my answer that I skip over, you can always email me at etanick@gmail.com. Most people that email me know I reply fairly quickly. I don't ignore you. Okay, so I do my best to answer any questions out there. So, anyhow, go enjoy your Mother's Day with your mom, your wife, your family. Be safe. Bye bye. Thanks for joining me.